I will be taking it to the Toyota dealership tomorrow, actually, to get the 5K service done on my Tacoma. But everyone jumping in, how's it going? We just did the Tacoma event, and all that embargoed information is now live. So we know all the information about it. I can play this stuff in the background if you guys want. Let me know if this gets annoying. We'll see. Maybe I should change my head. I don't know. Let's edit the layout a little bit. Maybe put me to the side. Wait, how do I do this? How do I change the layout? I don't want the layout like that. But anyways, Dave, thank you, dude. Appreciate this, man. Why is this here, though? I can't. Okay, my Ranger Raptor looks like a bargain now. Yeah, it does, right? Especially with the pricing of the new Tacoma TRD Pro. This one right here. It is definitely a lot more expensive than the Ranger Raptor. And I can't deny it, man. I can't deny it. It's for MSRP, I believe it's $6,000 cheaper than the Tacoma is for the TRD off-road. I think the audio's off of that. Yeah, it is. It's about $6,000, $7,000 cheaper. You get some more things with the Tacoma TRD Pro than you do get with the Ranger as standard features. But at the same time, with the Ranger, you also get a V6 if you like that. You also get a live Fox shocks versus the selectable shocks that the TRD Pro has. But too, with the Toyota, you know, you get an automatic tailgate, you get a moonroof, you get heated ventilated seats, you get the Isodynamic seats if you really care about that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it just depends, man. But also, I haven't seen any Ranger Raptors for really MSRP, but at the same time, I doubt the Tacoma TRD Pro will also be MSRP. And I think too, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe you have to put premium fuel into the Ranger Raptor to achieve those numbers for horsepower and torque. And for the Tacoma, you're getting way better gas mileage, and you do get to put regular gas in it. Not saying that that will offset the $7,000 price, because that's a lot of gas. Well, I don't know with how gas prices are lately. But that is, you know, a difference as well. It just depends on what you want with the vehicle, man. It definitely depends on what you want. Michael, what is up? How's it going? Rampage, what is up? Second gen Tacoma or fourth gen Tacoma? If you're going just based on price, you could buy like 3 second gens for the price almost of a fourth gen. But drivability wise and technology, I think I would still pick the fourth gen. Especially, I've spent a lot of time in my fourth gen Tacoma, and I really like it. You don't have to get the top of the line or anything like that. It doesn't need to be the just insane, you know, overly expensive one. That's what people seem to gravitate to. Just keep in mind that the Tacoma does still start at around $30,000. So just because we saw a $65,000 Tacoma, not defending Toyota because that's very expensive, it is a lot cheaper to get into the Tacoma if you don't need all of those crazy fancy features. Shay says, what is the level trim level of your Tacoma, John? Mine is a TRD off-road premium. So I have a TRD off-road premium Tacoma. The only thing that it does not have is the sway bar disconnect up front. That is the only thing that I don't have on my Tacoma. I'm not sure why this paused, but I'm going to go ahead and remove that because it may be uploading to the servers here. Very impromptu live stream. I wasn't going to do it, but my brother, he talked me into it. He's like, go do a live stream. It's fine. They're going to feed my nephew and everything. So just going to be on this for a little bit. Check in with you guys because it's been a month. And whatever questions you guys have about the Tacoma, go ahead and put them in the comments. And I will be sure to try to stay on time with your guys' comments. But you could get up to the top just like this. All Terrain Nation, you guys go ahead and check out the channel. I believe, I need to catch up and everything. I think he has his Raptor now, Ranger Raptor. So if you guys are cross-shopping the Ranger Raptor and Tacoma TRD Pro, you guys can go check out those videos on All Terrain Nation. I do need to catch up on his videos. Matt says, can you go a little more in detail into driving the Pro? So the Pro, basically, all we got for that was the... Oh, this was just all it was. It was only 2 minutes worth of stuff. So basically, we had a pretty cool off-road course for the Pro. You could see it in a little bit of the video that I did with Toyota Jeff. So in my pricing video at the end of it, I only had one camera at the time. It was very impromptu. that we did, but I took Jeff on a lap. So they had a hot course lap with the Pro going about 40 miles an hour. I may have hit a little faster than that, but 40 miles an hour. We did a double jump, and then we were on like some washboard stuff and going about 45 miles an hour. The truck's all going around and stuff, you know, the hydraulic bump stops in the back. You're really feeling it, testing out the isodynamic seats and everything. And the course that we had for the Tacoma TRD Pro was just really mainly off-road. Towards the end of the second day, some individuals were able to take a couple of those trucks on-road. I chose to do the Land Cruiser on-road a little bit more than the TRD Pro, but the truck handled very well off-road. I mean, it's what the vehicle is built for a very fast course. The isodynamic seats really holding your head steady for the most part. It did bounce around a little bit, but as opposed to being in the back seat and being like a little bit more fatigued and stuff in the back, the ISO seats are honestly kind of worth the gimmick. I mean, nothing is really worth it, I guess, right? At that price, it depends on, you know, like what you want and everything out of a vehicle. However, I don't know, like I enjoyed the TRD off-road, or I'm sorry, the TRD Pro while off-road. It's definitely a insane desert vehicle. It'll do really good in the West Coast for those that can afford that truck. Arham says, outside of pricing, thoughts on the Pro with the ISO seats? I pretty much just covered that. The ISO seats are sick. I do wish they had a little bit more adjustability, and also that it didn't hinder so much back seat space. But aside from that, the ISO seats, they work. The ISO seats, they do their thing that they're supposed to do, honestly, and they're actually really, really good. I'm trying in the background, guys, to upload a just more videos to this thing so we can just have some stuff in the background. So this is basically like media footage that Toyota gives us. So it's just the B-roll and everything like that. So if you guys see this in a lot of creators' videos and stuff, it's because they provide us with the B-roll. I need to make sure that I turn down the volume of that. Javier says, bro, I was up all night for the MSRP video on the Pro. Thanks again, appreciate it. Dude, I was actually up all night too. A lot of stuff was not able to schedule for some reason, so I had my alarm set for like 3:58 to wake up, post to Instagram, post to our Tacoma forum, which is the first link in the description of this YouTube live stream. If you guys are thinking about getting a Tacoma for some reason, like any of the 4th gens or whatever, we're building up that forum to be one of the best Tacoma forums out there without all the bullcrap ads of stuff that you don't care about, like kitty litter or anything. It's like very truck focused, and that's what everything will be about for that. But MJ, what is up? I appreciate it. You didn't put anything with this, but thank you for the $5, guys. You're allowing me to pay for gas, dude, to get back home with the Tacoma. That is awesome. And then, yep, All Terrain Nation says that, yep, 93 octane is correct for the Ranger Raptor. So keep that in mind. If you are cross-shopping the two of them, gas is, you know, it's going up in price, of course. Not getting into that, but that's a whole nother extra dollar every single time you fill up. But again, difference is about $7 grand for sure. So the Top Hat gentleman says, do these have the needle bearing like the previous gen? I'm not sure exactly what that is for the vehicle. If you want to let me know down in the comments exactly what that is and what you're referring to, then I'll try to answer that for you. What do you think of the Pro? Worth the extra 20K-ish? So it's kind of hard, man, because like if you're talking about just the hybrid system, you can, you know, have a good amount of time with no hybrid system. Like my truck, I've loaded it up with bigger tires, the tent on the back, the rooftop tent, the roof rack, a bunch of stuff in my truck. And I've driven it from Florida all the way to California and up into Utah through mountain passes and stuff. And the normal iForce engine is really good. So if I bought my truck and I wanted the hybrid, that's another $3,700, which now brings that up to a $57,000 truck. So really it's a difference of not 20K, it's a difference of like 6K, really, from where the Tacoma TRD Pro is to a TRD Off-Road Premium. And it's kind of crazy. I think that this generation, the Tacoma TRD Pro really has a good amount of features that will make it honestly hard for like the TRD bros to make a better truck, if that makes sense. Because like the third gen, you know, a TRD off-road and a TRD Pro, you put better suspension on a TRD off-road, and if you didn't care about like all the TRD Pro, you know, like bits of the grill and the badging and all that stuff, you had a better truck like immediately just with suspension. So this truck has a lot more features, honestly, to it to really allow it to stand out as a TRD Pro. So the 20K-ish, I'm not sure exactly, Michael, which truck you're referring to, but if we, you know, talk about my truck just as it sits from when I bought it to the price of a TRD Pro, it's a difference of 10 grand. But if you add the hybrid powertrain, it's really only a difference of like 6 grand for the truck. So when will the hybrid be released in Florida? So the hybrid should be coming out, guys, like across the nation within the next, I would say, month to 2 months. They should really be like at dealers, I would say, like in the next 2 months, to where you should be able to just, hopefully, if Toyota doesn't, you know, super slow rollout like the freaking Tacoma has been, go to a dealership within a couple months, and you should be able to see them, you know, readily available. Sam says, what's up, John? You have a career rally car in your future. Nice wheel game. I don't know. That would be cool. I definitely needed to work on my hands a little bit more instead of, you know, taking my hand over the steering wheel and everything like that. If you guys don't know what Sam's talking about, at the end of the last video talking about the Tacoma pricing, I scared the crap out of Toyota Jeff while off-road. But I definitely need to work on my hand position better because I was doing a lot of over the top and all this stuff, which you don't want to do really while off-road. Bill Bob says, hybrid power, big difference or not so much? So this is a very good question, guys. Day-to-day driving, I feel like I wouldn't really notice the hybrid powertrain that much. And I will mention this in future videos and stuff coming. But day-to-day driving, you know, like just around that little ranch that we were at with the trucks, like going up to the trail to start the Tacoma TRD Pro, like trail drive and stuff where we're going really fast, like just getting there off-road, putting the Trail Hunter around its off-road course, and then even just driving. We drove a TRD off-road and a limited back home, like to and from the ranch. And while on the highway and like getting onto the highway, it didn't feel like an insanely different amount, like increase of power, I should say. But where I did notice it is if you're cruising at like 75 miles an hour and you just give it a little gas, the truck is like, whoop, like it's ready to go a bit more than the normal iForce is, because that electronic generator, it's really helping the very limited amount of turbo lag that truck has just to get it even peppier. But just, I feel like honestly, the day-to-day driving, you really wouldn't notice a massive difference from the hybrid to the non-hybrid. Where I feel like you really will notice the difference is if you're just cruising on the highway or going through like mountain passes and stuff, or if you're planning on building your truck out and putting weight on the truck. I feel like the hybrid powertrain there will, you'll notice it a lot more if you had a completely built truck with no hybrid and the same exact build with hybrid. I feel that that powertrain would shine at that point as well. Full Sense says, what do you expect the 25 4Runner TRD Pro to start at? I'm going to go with 66 to 68. I think that it's really going to blend into Land Cruiser premium pricing and base level GX pricing for the 4Runner TRD Pro. Also, our other forum, 6gen4runner.com, Brennan updated his pricing sheet for that one, giving us a guesstimate kind of as to what the pricing will be for that. So let me see if I can bring that up for you guys, because I'm sure that that is a very, very good question. So we're still working with our algorithm to like start to get up to like higher rankings on Google, because we just basically made the forum. come on, dude. 6gen4runner.com. Sorry if I'm losing you guys right now. But anyways, I'm not going to keep messing with this and whatever. I'm over it. But I think that'll be like 66 to 68. Jeff says, after driving it, though, does the TRD Pro feel like it's worth the price tag? So worth is subjective, right? Worth is subjective. It's expensive. It's definitely expensive for a lot of individuals. But like the thing is that it's not a normal truck. Like I saw that multiple times in the comments just saying that Toyota, and I'm not defending them, right? Because it is expensive, but like that Toyota outpriced like the common folk, or that this is way too expensive for like just a normal mid-sized truck. So first off, the TRD Pro, it's not a normal truck. Like that truck is legitimately wild. You could actually take this truck from the dealership and go like bonsai out in the desert, and it'd be like really, really impressive. I'm not even like trying to sugarcoat that. But it's also super expensive, and it's not a normal truck, nor is it like a normal just entry level truck. That's where the SR and the SR5 kind of come into play with the Tacoma. So like to answer this question, it feels rowdy. It feels exactly like the truck should be and what it's really built for. And is it worth the price tag? I mean, if that's what you're looking for, then yeah. Honestly, like I think that it's pretty. I think that's a pretty good truck. And it's the only thing that I would legitimately do with it if I ever bought one in the future would just be like different tires, because I'm not just the biggest fan of the Goodyear tires. That's all I would really do, and probably just keep them at like 33s to 34s and just leave the truck, because Toyota, they honestly did a really good job engineering that truck. Sean says, I know I'm going to be a dumbass at the end and spend $65,000 on the TRD Pro. My justification is the off-road. I was going to be probably just close to 60K anyway. So yeah, so depending on your type of off-road that you want to get, just like I was saying, these things are really close in price to where if you were to get a TRD off-road with all the features that the TRD Pro has, and then you add, you know, the ARB rear bumper, like again, the Pro has a lot of standard features, and that's really what makes it different than the Ranger Raptor, is with the standard features. But you know, if people don't want that, then you can build up a TRD off-road. But again, it's resale value and stuff too that you want in the future. Best tonneau cover for the Tacoma, I'm not really sure yet. A lot of companies are starting to come out with tonneau covers, but I haven't seen a whole bunch yet right at this moment, Justin. I see that we have another star coming in. Drone Tech Pro, appreciate it. I'm not sure if YouTube is messing up, because yourself, MJ, both amazing donations. Thank you guys so freaking much. But I don't see anything written with this. So if you had a comment, I apologize. I don't see anything with this right now, but thank you so much for the freaking support. You guys are awesome, especially too, because we haven't done a live stream in a while. It's been a while, and the fact that we almost have 200 people in here is pretty cool. I'm going to add the Tacoma back up to the stage real quick, just so it's not my boring self just rambling and talking, to give you guys a little bit more. Fernando says, good night. I don't know if you already answered this question, but by the time we're going to be able to order the Pro. So a lot of people have been putting deposits down since it was announced with their dealerships. Dealerships should be getting allocations rather soon. I would say like within the next couple weeks to the next month, dealerships should be starting to get their allocations. So I would 100% go to multiple dealerships and get your name on that list, because you cannot order vehicles through Toyota. You can just ask for as close as you want color-wise and trim levels, and your dealership should try to allocate one for you if they are a very good, reputable dealer. Michael says, do you wish that you would have gotten a long bed? Dude, after off-roading in Utah, I am so happy I did not get a long bed. I feel like the length of my Tacoma is perfect for off-road, at least in that kind of environment. And every type of off-roading that I've done with my Tacoma so far, whether it be the very tight washes of Borrego Springs, the little bit of off-roading in Florida that I did with it when it was stock, the high-speed kind of desert fast racing that I did with it in Johnson Valley, And now Moab, I am so happy that I did not get a long bed Tacoma. It just, the wheelbase just would have been way too long, in my opinion. Excuse me. Ranger Raptor also has a 4-wheel drive auto and a locking front diff too. Those are nice things for some people. Personally, I would rather have 2-wheel drive, unless the Ranger Raptor does have 2-wheel drive. I'm not sure if it's able to go into 2-wheel drive mode, to kick the back end out of the truck. And front locker, like I definitely get the argument for front locker, but I mean, you have a front sway bar disconnect to hopefully give you more articulation down, but I mean, it's very limited when you'll need a front locker if you're doing high-speed desert racing. A lot of high-speed desert racers, like what these trucks are emulated after, they're 2-wheel drive trucks, really, is what these trucks are kind of emulated after. So the fact that Toyota does give us 4-wheel drive is cool, but really like a high-speed desert truck is mainly 2-wheel drive. So I don't know, definitely depends on what you want for sure. When is your TRD Pro video coming out? Joshua, I definitely need to edit that. So I'm in Vegas currently right now. I still have a lot of files to offload off onto that, and what I kind of want that video to be. If you're looking for a little sneak peek of something, I did that with Toyota Jeff in my last video. We were showcasing the, and this, guys, if you're just joining in, it's just B-roll from Toyota. I off-roaded with him, but it was only a single camera view, so I will hopefully get that TRD Pro video coming out. It was so much fun, so I want to make it entertaining for you guys and not be like the same thing over and over again, but it was it was so much fun, for sure. So I may be skipping a couple comments, guys, just because we are 15 minutes behind, but we do have a couple more starred ones. Drone Tech again, dude. Bro, thank you so much. Are you going to miss the front locking diff? I don't think that I will, honestly. I've never had the need for it before. When I was out in Utah, it would have been nice to have a front locking diff for a certain obstacle that I did have to kind of floor the truck a little bit, because if I was going slower, the truck would have caught with the front wheel instead of spinning this one, because if the front was locked, it would have been a lot easier. But, you know, sometimes it is nice to just give yourself a little bit of a challenge. I even turned off the rear locker on some of the obstacles out in Moab, just because the truck was just dominating, man. It was so easy for that truck to do some of the trails that I just turned off the rear locker to be kind of more of a driver-focused vehicle. And Corradetti, thank you so much. I, again, have been off of YouTube for a while, so I have not been keeping up with your SR Tundra adventures and stuff, but if you guys are still interested in the Tundra and you want some SR Tundra content, go on over to Corradetti's page. The Tacoma would look better with my dirt bike in the back, dude. So they had a trail hunter out at Cruise Moab with a KTM dirt bike in the back, and it looked right at place. It was a 6-foot bed trail hunter. Man, it looked good. You were zooming in the TRD Pro, Sergio says. Yeah, dude, we were going 40 to 45, borderline 50 on some of those, just going really fast, and that truck is more than capable for that. It felt really planted. The TRD Pro on that off-road course, it was kind of crazy. So I did that course several times. Probably close to 10 times, and which is why I feel bad that I really didn't record that much Crown and Camry content. But when Toyota gives me Land Cruiser, Tacoma TRD Pro, and Trail Hunter, that's what my audience likes the most. That's kind of what my focus really was on. And dude, I did that off-road course like probably 10 times or so. Do you think that the Trail Hunter is a better buy than the Pro? They're completely different vehicles, and honestly, after driving the Trail Hunter on the off-road course, I feel like I would rather just build up a TRD off-road than purchase a Trail Hunter, if that makes sense. The Old Man Emu suspension, it was pretty good with the Trail Hunter. It was nice and soft. It wasn't too stiff. That snorkel, holy crap. I posted a short about it. The turbo noise that comes from that snorkel is just so cool. I don't know if it would get like tiresome if you like actually own the vehicle for a while, but my gosh, it was really, really cool. But I think like the TRD Pro would be harder to duplicate, but I feel like a Trail Hunter would be significantly easier to duplicate with a TRD off-road. So Do you think that the Trail Hunter is a better buy than the Pro? I don't. Time will tell, honestly, to see which one will hold also its value better over time. Is the TRD Pro roof a matte finish or a satin? It is a nice, shiny kind of gloss finish. Good job on the course. I appreciate it, Sergio. Marty Vision, what is up, dude? How's it going? What trim of the 6th Gen 4Runner are you leaning towards? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know yet because the normal iForces are going to come out like a month before. And if this Tacoma is any indication of what has happened, I don't want to like have a 4Runner that's delayed like a couple months. I don't know. So I'm going to bounce back and forth on that. As of this moment, I'm leaning towards a Trail Hunter, even though I just said that the Trail Hunter, like, it's not, you could build up a TRD off-road to be better. I'll just say this. I'm leaning towards a hybrid 4Runner. So not exactly sure which one yet for that. And Kylie, I believe, is how you would pronounce that. Dude, or dudette. Thank you so much for the 10. You are absolutely awesome. I don't see any messages for this, but dude, you guys are freaking on fire today. Holy crap. Thank you so much, man. I almost didn't do a live stream, and my brother's like, just go do it, man. We got to feed your nephew anyways. And just go do it. It's totally fine. And here I am in their garage in Vegas. It is 90 degrees outside. No box fan up in here, but it is all good. I definitely miss the dry desert heat. It's nice, but you do sweat. Not as much as if I was back in Florida with the humidity and stuff. I would definitely be sweating in my garage quite a bit. 6Man says, do you see them bringing the price down after they would be able to sell many at that price point? I don't. I really don't. A lot of the other competitors, like, they seem like they're cheaper, and they are in some regard, but like the crappy thing about Toyota is they give you a lot of like standard features. They give you a lot of standard features, and that's just how they are, just rolling with stuff out. Yes, they have packages and everything, which definitely boost the prices up. But like the Trail Hunter and the TRD Pro, which are really the main, very expensive ones, they just come packed full with a bunch of standard equipment on them. So I mean, like, if you like take those other trucks away, like the Trail Hunter and the TRD Pro, like the Tacoma is around $55,000 to $56,000, which all the other brands are around those prices for like fully kind of equipped trucks. So the main outliers are the Trail Hunter and the Pro, which everyone is just so hyper focused on. And at the end of the day, again, the Tacoma starts at 30 grand. So 30 grand is, in my opinion, still very normal entry level for a mid-sized truck. It's just once you start adding all these features onto these vehicles, that's personally when it starts to get very expensive. MJ, though, sorry for this, dude. I hope you're still in here. Says, with that donation, a second message for some reason after that. Not sure if YouTube separated it, but thanks for all you do for the community. I'm normally a silent listener, a little fly on the wall, because I'm normally driving for work. Super excited for the new 4Runner. I am too. I really I really hoped that the interior would be its own, but thank you so much, man, for the comment and the donation. You are the best, dude. You guys are all showing so much support today. This is freaking incredible, man. So awesome. Counterfeit Cowboy says, John, I bought the same truck as you, 24 off-road premium, but in solar octane. So you got my truck. I found the Bilstein shocks are super stiff. Do you feel like the Fox shocks are better on the washboards and bumps? 100% better. So the two main things that I have found the limits of the Bilstein suspension is the bump stop in the rear. It needs to be like a softer, better bump stop, and like the actual physical bump stop in the back of those trucks, and the internal bump stops to the front. So if you look under your truck, your TRD off-road, there is no physical bump stop up front for that suspension, right? Every other truck that I've seen, like Toyota-wise and like other manufacturers, they have a physical bump stop up front that will hit, I believe it's going to hit your lower A-arm. If you compress it too much, I believe it's the lower A-arm. And it's better. in my opinion. The Bilsteins, their bump stops are like internal to the shock. So with the kind of harder off-roading that I've been doing with my Tacoma, I feel like, and even, you know, the Westcott kit doesn't help with this, but I was even in a stock Tacoma and I felt the same thing while out in Moab. It's like when you're kind of going a little bit fast or the shock really extends itself kind of too quickly, it just limits itself. It limits itself very, very quickly. So those are like my two main issues with the stock suspension on the Tacoma. But dude, Drone Tech, bro, you're on fire. It is a $20,000 dealer markup realistic? No. So what you need to do with that is take away the 2, and that is the exact dealer markup, brother, that you need to be looking for, is a no dollar markup. The dealers, they're out there, guys. They're really out there. There are dealers that are just licking at their chops, bro, to find the individual that has money and wants that truck right away, and they don't care, you know, if they have to pay over MSRP. I met an individual like that down in Tampa. He was down at the beach with his black Tundra TRD Pro. He was super proud that he paid $90,000 for it, but he was the first one in Tampa to have it. Good job, dude. So those people are out there, and if they want to spend their money that way, they totally can. If you do your research, you can go onto our it's not my Facebook page, but it is a Facebook page called No Markup Toyota. Tons of dealerships in there all the time posting that they have trucks, Highlanders, Corollas, Supras, whatever, for no markup, okay? The caveat to that is they may load that vehicle with a bunch of port installed BS, but it is at MSRP. So there are plenty of dealers that sell vehicles at MSRP, even the TRD Pros. So just, guys, do your hardest to find those type of dealers out there. They exist. They are harder to find, but they do exist. And dude, thank you so much for the donation, man. Like, you can pause. It's okay. I appreciate you. Put that money towards a Tacoma if you want it, man. Sanjeeb says, "Hey John, how are you? I'm from Montreal. Do you know when Toyota will be working on a future 25 RAV4 or new Highlander plug-in hybrid? My dad is thinking to go to get an electric SUV. Any recommendations? A 5-seater." So rumor has it that the new RAV4 will be coming out next year. Haven't seen any spy photos or really any rumblings from Toyota about it. Obviously, they don't tell you that much stuff. They may, you know, kind of do like face movements and stuff sometimes, but like they're really quiet. Like Toyota people, they do media training and everything. So even if they have a little, you know, a little bit of wine or something like that at the events, their lips are like dang near sealed. Very, very sealed. So I have heard rumors, though, that there will be a RAV4 next year. A lot of automotive journalists have kind of been speculating that we'll see that. Not really sure, like a Highlander behind me, right? Like what its fate is after the Grand Highlander has been, you know, announced, and they're relatively kind of close in price, not insanely close. So I'm just curious as to how much the Grand Highlander has eaten at these ones' sales and stuff. But a plug-in hybrid, to me, is the best way to go. That's the best way to go. You don't have to worry about range anxiety. You don't have to, worry about gas prices. If you're only going 10 miles, 20 miles to and from work, you can just have a plug-in hybrid. But if you go on a road trip, dude, it's an insane. It's much better. Not insane. Sorry. It's a much better way to go than a normal EV, in my opinion. The infrastructure for just pure EVs is not there at all. Ronald, bro, $5. You guys are on it today. I said I was only gonna be on for an hour, but if you guys keep doing this, man, I mean, not that, you know, money's everything, but like I love answering your guys' questions and you guys being so hyped about this. And holy smokes, I got a long drive back to Florida, and gas in the West Coast, even though I've been out here, I was out here 3 weeks ago, gas in Arizona went up 80 cents in 3 weeks. It was about like $3.60 when I was filling up a couple weeks ago when like Jeff was doing all the stuff to my truck. Bro, it's like 440 now. California was like 570. Vegas has always been around $4. Utah was actually somewhat reasonable at like 350 or so. But man, I just need to get out of the West into Texas, and then everything else after that should be pretty good. But Ronald, brother, thank you so much. Says, hey, John, now that you have driven the Land Cruiser, oh, I didn't even think about that for this. Now that you've driven the Land Cruiser, Tacoma TRD Pro, 4Runner TRD Pro, and GX Overtrail, which one do you think is the most complete truck? So I have not driven the 4Runner TRD Pro yet. I've only sat inside of it. Call me weird. I'm going to go with the Land Cruiser. I'm going to go with the Land Cruiser on this one. It weirdly felt a little bit more premium inside than the GX does. The GX is kind of going for a more streamlined look. And the Land Cruiser just felt a little bit more premium for some reason, guys. At least a Land Cruiser premium grade Land Cruiser. It felt a little bit more premium than a GX. I don't know why. What you said though, Land Cruiser or GX Overtrail. The luxury GX is actually pretty nice too. But I think that the Land Cruiser is the like most refined, and just everything is there. If you were to go with a more premium grade. Now, if you were to say like Land Cruiser 58, Tacoma TRD Pro, 4Runner, GX Overtrail, I would say probably a GX Overtrail. But if you're going like the actual Land Cruiser grade, and even if you're doing a premium as well, I would say that that is a bit more soft touch and fit and finish, honestly, than a GX is. I really think so. So guys, thank you so much for those donations. I appreciate it. I'm going to skip a couple of people. I definitely feel bad. So if we get down to the end and get caught up with everything, then you guys can feel more than likely. Feel more than whatever. Post your comment again if I don't get to it. So I'm going to come down here. How much will the hybrid cost for the TRD Sport? So the hybrids, guys, are $3,700 more than the normal iForce motors. So iForce Max is $3,700 more. So if you're looking at a TRD Sport Premium or whatever packages, Toyota hasn't put the actual build and price tool out yet. But you should be able to just add $3,700 to it. I don't see that it would be a little bit different for that. Chris is up in here. It says, let's go. How much can the Tacoma tow? I believe it's around 6,300 pounds or so. For those of you guys just jumping in, we've been talking about the Tacoma TRD Pro, Trail Hunter, Land Cruiser stuff and everything. Long story short, with off-roading the Tacoma TRD Pro off-road, it does everything that price tag asks for it. It is a very expensive price tag, but it will be very hard to emulate that truck for around the same price, I feel, if you're to try to build up a TRD off-road premium with the iForce Max powertrain. The Trail Hunter, I feel like you could get by getting a TRD off-road, in my opinion, and building that up to be something a little bit better than a Trail Hunter. At the end of the day, it's mainly just suspension for the Trail Hunter. The interior is really, really nice looking. But it has nothing crazy special to it on the inside like the TRD Pro does with the ISO seats, if you like that kind of gimmick. But that gimmick works, dude. Those ISO seats actually really work for sure. Arham says, I think that this gen of TRD Pro is the first real TRD Pro. I 100% agree with this. I 100% agree with this. That is it. It's actually a Pro and not just, some better suspension and badging. Freedom, what is up? How's it going? Fatty says, wasn't Toyota going to add a bunch of aftermarket accessories from ARB to outfit your Tacoma? They are. I'm not sure if your dealer is able to share this information with you, but when I was getting my Tacoma, when it was allocated, they said, hey, here's a list of the port options. Do you want any, John, on your Tacoma? And a lot of those ARB accessories, the deck rail lights, all of that stuff was like March, April timeframe, May timeframe, when they would even be available for the ports to put onto the truck. So yes, they are coming. They're probably just with this kind of phase 2 or 3, whatever release of these trucks. the hybrids and stuff. When will the two-door Tacoma be available? So the extra cab should be available around March, April timeframe. I've seen a couple out there, not a whole lot, but the extra cab, they should be shipping, guys. Would you go with an off-road or a trail hunter? I would go with the trail hunter for sure. Skipping a couple more, and I feel bad again. If I get caught up, guys, definitely resubmit your comment, and I apologize if you're not in here anymore. Rich says, wow, a lot to take in today. After seeing several reviews, now leaning towards the Trail Hunter over the Pro. Is the Molly bar removable for a tonneau cover, and does it have a moonroof? So the Trail Hunter does not have a moonroof, and that bull bar thing, the headache rack, whatever you want to call it, in the back right there that you see, it is completely removable. So honestly though, I mean, you could totally build up a TRD off-road, but if you like the exterior look of the Trail Hunter and you like the interior, then 100% just go with the Trail Hunter. But you can remove that little bed rack that they offer for that. David, what is up? Dude, you guys are freaking on fire today, bro. Holy crap. Says, getting a TRD Pro, but deciding between 4Runner or Tacoma. Your content really helps. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm a 4Runner lover at heart. I always have loved the 4Runner. My first vehicle was a 2nd-gen 4Runner, the 5th-gen 4Runner. Not sure how long you've been with the channel, but that started the channel. Like, I'm an actual 4Runner enthusiast before the YouTube and everything. Always have loved 4Runner. So it'd be hard to like pick the Tacoma over the 4Runner. I think for me, my easy cop-out is having a full-size truck or like the Tundra, right? So I would always kind of pick 4Runner because in my mind, I want to always have a truck in my driveway if possible. But it's really hard, man. It's really hard. The Tacoma, though, for the TRD Pro, it will have the Isodynamic seats, which the 4Runner will not get. And also, if you're really planning on off-roading that truck hard and fast out in the desert, the 4Runner does not come with Isodynamic seats at all. Well, yes, it doesn't come with those, but with the hydro bump stops, when I was asking Chief Engineer Sheldon Brown if it had it back there, he said as of right now, the 4Runner does not have hydro bump stops in the back. And that really allows the truck to land really well if you're jumping it or just going crazy with it off-road. So I would just really ask yourself, do you need a truck or do you need an SUV? Are you going to be hauling people? Do you need room in the middle seats versus not having room? Because the Tacoma has like no room in the middle seats when it comes to the TRD Pro. But the 4Runner, I mean, you could easily fit your family in there. You could fit your gear in the back of it too and not have it in the bed of the truck like the Tacoma, so it would be protected, somewhat protected on the inside. But they both have the same exact interior as you're sitting in the front. So that shouldn't be anything to like really worry about. And then Kai, guys keep hitting, man, says awesome, assuming it carries over to the 4Runner, why would you think that the Trail Hunter is coming in cheaper, especially with all the ARB add-ons with the air compressor? So I think the biggest thing where the Tacoma TRD Pro is a little bit more expensive than the Trail Hunter is the suspension. It's a lot crazier of suspension, the hydraulic bump stops in the back with the Tacoma, and maybe the Isodynamic seats along with the moonroof. So the Tacoma TRD Pro does have a couple more features than the Trail Hunter does. So maybe that would be the reasoning. But like at the same time, the Trail Hunter also has the ARB bed rack and the snorkel. So I'm not 100% sure. In my mind, so there was a question asked earlier as to how much do I think that the TRD Pro 4Runner like will be, and I said probably like 68. Part of me though really hopes that it's the same price as the Tacoma TRD Pro, maybe like a little bit less, but the 4Runner has never been cheaper than the Tacoma. But for the simple fact that the 4Runner doesn't have all of the ARB bits with it, nor does it have the Isodynamic seats that the Tacoma TRD Pro has. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see when that comes out for sure. All right, getting caught back up with some messages and stuff, guys. We're going to just land on Oscar here. They have already allocated as of this last allocation. So for those of you guys asking about allocation, Oscar says apparently he has some stuff with the dealership that they have already been allocated. So I am right now, guys, Chad, his message was at 5:29. So if you guys look at the time, we're at 5:54. So I am skipping people to try to catch back up. But any word on pre-runner with the extra cabs? And of course, I have answered this, but if you weren't in here, Chad, totally fine. And of course, I'm behind in the comments right now, but they should be landing. They were supposed to be March, April. So hopefully those trucks are landing soon for everyone. Kyle says, hey, John, thanks for everything. Any idea when we are supposed to get a builder for Toyota? It should have honestly been ready right now. So I would say like within the next couple of days or so, we should be able to see the builder on Toyota's site to make sure that the packages are and everything are the same. But as of like a couple hours ago, I did not see the builder on the site. But just keep in mind that when I did the math, the hybrid is $3,700 more. So if they keep all the packaging the same, you should be able to build out a hybrid vehicle, right? Get an idea of packaging and everything, and then just add $3,700 to it until the configurator comes out. Do you own a TRD off-road? Mine is a TRD off-road in the premium package, and this is a damn good looking truck. Honestly, like, not gonna lie, and it's not me fanboying, the Tacoma is a very good looking truck. Like, it's legitimately a good looking truck. Of all the mid sizes right now, it goes like Tacoma for me, and then Chevy's Colorado, which is weird because I like GMC's Sierra better than their Silverado, but I like the Colorado more than the Sierra. I'm not really a fan of the Ranger too much. And then the Frontier is actually getting a little facelift, but the Frontier for me, it still just kind of falls towards the bottom just because it just kind of looks a little bit old. Ronald says, hey, John, have you driven the... Oh, sorry, that was your starred one, Ronald. Appreciate you so freaking much, dude. You are absolutely incredible for this. And I see that you asked it a couple times, so thank you for donating to get that question answered, Ronald. You are the best, man. Thank you so much. Is the Toyota website down? So maybe if the Toyota website is down as of 5:33 from Drone Tech Pro, maybe they're updating it to where now the configurator is live. But it was not live earlier this morning, nor was it a couple hours ago when I checked before the live stream, because I wanted to build up some before the live stream, but it wasn't ready. I have the Old Man Emu on my 3rd gen, and it's been amazing. Great for overlanding. So I had the BP51 kit on one of my 3rd gen Tacomas too. It was very, very good. Like one of my favorite kits to put on a truck for sure. Again, skipping some comments, guys. I appreciate everyone's comments so much. Don't think that you're not valued at all, but we just have a lot of comments, and I am very behind. Kyle says, leaning towards the 4Runner Hybrid 2. I was initially leaning on the Pro, but may just get an off-road with a premium package or something. So I love the 4Runner. I personally enjoy driving trucks off-road more than SUVs. So part of me really wants the TRD Pro just because it looks badass. But honestly, like, because I don't really care for how the interior of the 4Runner is the exact same as the Tacoma. To an extent, the 4Runner has more soft touch, better materials from Japan. So if I don't plan to really off-road my 4Runner, it may be unpopular. I probably won't do it because now I'm talking myself out of it. But I'm kind of really thinking that the Platinum 4Runner may be on the horizon for me because it's the iForce Max. I wanted the hybrid anyways. And if it has a lot of soft touch materials, just because I don't like how much plastic material is in these new vehicles, if it has a lot of soft touch materials, that may be the winner right there, in my opinion. Like, if I'm not going to off-road the 4Runner that much. Markup, no markup is realistic. Don't pay over sticker, 100%, guys. Skipping some more comments. Again, appreciate you all. I could beat that horse till it's completely dead. But Dob says, can you confirm or deny premium gas on the Land Cruiser? It is on The Land Cruiser forums. Man, let me look real quick, Dob, because the other day, I am very certain that the Land Cruiser, I mean, it's the same engine as the Tacoma, right? So I don't know. Let me go into this stuff real quick and see. We're gonna go back to the file groups and everything. And when was the Land Cruiser embargo? It was April 18th. So I'm gonna go up in here, look at that it was Camry. Land Cruiser was the 16th. And I did not cover the Camry because I was driving from Utah that day. So that information did not go live on my channel. If I'm losing some of you guys, I apologize. But this is like, I've heard this so much and I want to see. Holy it does say 91. Yeah, okay. So this does say 91 recommended fuel or higher. It says recommended, not required. So take that as you will. It says recommended, not required. Do what you want with that information. When I get my Land Cruiser, bro, I'm putting regular in it. I'm not putting premium in a Toyota. So, Dob, if you're in here, it says recommended, not required for the Land Cruiser. Here Goes Nothing says, I think it would be smarter to just get a limited Tundra for about the same price as the Tacoma TRD Pro and keep a V6 more space. Two completely different vehicles. Honestly, like I do get that. That these prices start getting close to full-size truck prices and stuff. But one is 100% for off-road, and the other one is not for off-road, really. It's just a full-size truck. So if you want a full-size truck, that should be your thing, is looking for an actual full-size truck versus versus thinking that the TRD Pro and that are the same truck because they're around the same price, in my opinion, for that. John says, hey, John. What's up, John? Now that we also have pricing for the Tacoma, how do you think the pricing will differ for the new 4Runner? I really think that 4Runner will be a swing of about $3,000, $4,000. If you look at the Sequoia versus the Tundra, it's about $4,000 to $5,000 difference in some of the trim levels and stuff. So that's kind of where we're pricing out our 4Runner estimates right now in our mind. So this one's interesting. I haven't really read it. Many reviewers are saying that the Ranger Raptor is a better Baja truck than the TRD Pro. Trailhead tier, a better fit for this engine. So I'm not really sure. I mean, unless it's in a Tacoma review video that people are saying that, because the Ranger stuff was a couple weeks ago. So unless they've driven both, and that's their opinion of it, that's totally cool, and I'm not saying that they're wrong, because I haven't driven a Ford Ranger Raptor at all yet. I definitely did not like the interior of the Ranger Raptor compared to the Tacoma. Honestly, when I sat in one at the LA Auto Show, felt cheap, felt like vinyl seats. I don't know, maybe it was a pre-production, I have no idea, so I'm not gonna like super judge it, because I don't know how Ford does their pre-production stuff. Toyota just does like shiny plastic. So I don't know how Ford does it. Maybe they don't put the proper seats in it or something, but it just felt like a school bus, like vinyl material. Ugh, did not feel the best. But I don't know. It just depends. I mean, the Ford Raptor lineup is very Baja focused. Again, Ford had a very crazy course I saw for people to use, and maybe they got to experience more out of it. Whereas really the only fast, high-speed stuff we got to do with the Tacoma was kind of really like the run-up. And then it was a lot of kind of like twisty things. So I don't know. I would love to be able to drive both of them to really get an idea for you guys. Sammy says, I'm late here. No worries, Sammy. Bro, hopefully you're still in here, because I'm late. I'm at comment hour 5:48 right now, guys. So if you guys have posted your comment, trying to get close to catching up with you guys. And we are at our hour mark. So I will try to get to everyone else's comments. And then if you guys have any more important comments to recap, since we have 210 people in here, you guys are freaking incredible. One, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I don't really push that often, or leave a like on this video. It helps YouTubers out and automotive journalists so much. You guys don't even know. And it's free. Like, it's literally a click. But basically what we did was off-roaded the Tacoma TRD Pro. It was a lot of fun, man. It was a very fun course. One of the best courses that Toyota has ever put on an off-road event. Usually they're just like kind of, you know, they're cool off-road courses and stuff. This one was like legit. Like we jumped the truck, washboard stuff, little whoop action, drift in the truck, super fun. The Trail Hunter course, it was good, some articulation bit, and it was the same exact one as the Land Cruiser, which is why I haven't really posted that video yet today, because also the embargo information just dropped. And the hybrid powertrain on the road doesn't really feel all that much different in day-to-day driving, in my opinion. I mean, I only had like 2 hours with it really on the road, so I would love to have it for a week in the future as a press vehicle to really figure out the differences and stuff. I feel like you're really going to get your money's worth with that hybrid powertrain over time at the gas pump, because the gas mileage is about 3 mpg better, but really just on the highway, you're going to feel the difference with passing power and also mountain passes, and if you start to load that truck down with a lot of weight. But Sammy says, sorry I'm late. The guy from the channel Extra Throttle House said he was impressed with the hybrid drivetrain acceleration. So it is, I mean, I've gotten into my Tacoma like pretty good to accelerate with it, and if you find it at the right spot, it's still a little rocket ship. But yeah, Thomas said that that truck did have quite a bit of power for sure. And they even enjoyed it in the new Land Cruiser, which is heavier as well. He also said that he liked the Ranger Raptor better. He does own Fords, so maybe he likes Fords, but he also likes Toyotas too. So, but that seems to be the consensus. A lot of journalists like the Ranger Raptor better. I'm curious though, living with it, maybe too it's the seat, right? Where the Ranger Raptor gives you an actual seat versus the ISO seats. I really do hope, honestly, in the future, for those that don't want it, that the ISO seats are an option, maybe. Maybe that'll be next year. The TRD Pro price will go up a little bit, but like if you don't get ISO seats, maybe the price will stay the same. I have no idea. But like honestly, like that whole package together just works so well off-road. Mello says, do the Softex seats feel better like the 4Runner? They do. And the 4Runner Softex seats for the new 6th gen actually felt better than the Tacoma Softex seats. Again, just different materials and everything too on those vehicles make it really, really nice. The 4Runner does not have a steel ARB rear bumper. ETA for hybrids, bro, they should be coming out within the next month or so. They've been allocated to dealers and stuff. As one of the commenters just said, seems to have some inside sources with dealers, or maybe he works at a dealer, but apparently in the last batch of allocations, hybrids were part of that allocation process. And then Drone Tech, bro, this is your last one, bro. I'm cutting you off, dude. You have been so incredible tonight, dude. Enjoy your whole night. And if you have a channel, Drone Tech Pro, I'm gonna check you out, man, because I am looking to get a new DJI, especially after Moab. It would have been cool to actually have a drone following me. I didn't get to film as much as I really wanted in Moab just because it was very technical, so I didn't want to be talking and have cameras going and stuff, and I was just enjoying the insane views. But I think 2 new camera gear items for my arsenal would be a 360 camera, like kind of do POV style, like Grand Theft Auto, just hanging off the back of the vehicles. And I also do want a drone again. So I'm going to check out your channel, bro. I'm going to just screenshot this because I stream through an app called StreamYard. And check out your channel. And if you have stuff, then dope. And if not, I appreciate all the donos, man. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. I appreciate the support so much. All right, I'm gonna get back to the comments as we start to wrap up the live stream. You guys have been incredible, dude. We've been over 170 freaking viewers this whole time. Like, that's been crazy as it's dipping. But we've been on an hour. I don't expect everyone to stay on forever, man. Maybe I'll put the Tacoma back up and it'll keep some people's interest again. But it's the same thing over and over again. Game Boy Tommy says, I need those Isodynamic seats when I go to Target and Costco. Bro, them parking lots, they start to get kind of wild. For some reason, some are saying that in the Land Cruiser, it says requires premium gas. I just looked at the little thingamajiggy that Toyota sent out. It says recommended premium gas. That press release does not say required, unless someone owns a Land Cruiser and it says required in like on their gas tank. what I'm seeing for the Land Cruiser is all it says is recommended for it. Do you think that they will make the ISO seats an option on the 25 Pro? So Toyota is talking about allowing it to just be optional, not just for the Pro, potentially, if the demand is there. But if you want to add those seats, let's say to like a TRD off-road, they may have kind of like a lesser pro-y version of them potentially for the TRD off-road. Yeah. Rick, thank you, bro. 219 people watching, only 28 thumbs up. So guys, you're lacking, but thanks, Rick, for keeping everyone on track. I appreciate it, dude. Curran says the Isodynamic seats will be swappable and completely operatable with all functions to a non-Isodynamic Tacoma. That is 100% true. All plug and play and stuff. Everything should work in the seats. I believe there's like one thing that you just have to add a little bit differently, but aside from that, pretty much everything of a TRD Pro is swappable to other ones if you want. So then Mike also says that the builder is now online, guys. So we can wrap up this live stream, and I have a few more people to get to. I'm 15 minutes behind on the comments and stuff, but Mike does say that the configurator is live now for iForce Max, so that's probably why their website was down. So that makes sense. What is the price and performance between Tacoma off-road built up versus a TRD Pro? So that just depends. The aftermarket really isn't there yet, suspension-wise and everything for these trucks. So that's going to be hard to tell. I mean, this is really a question to be answered, let's say in a year or so, right? When there's more suspension companies out there and stuff for it, potential tuners and stuff too, to where you can really have a lot of options for a TRD off-road to make it as good, if not better, than a TRD Pro. But like, I honestly, like within the next 5 to 6 months, it'll be hard to duplicate a TRD Pro build for the masses. Maybe even close to a year from now, we'll start to finally see them. John says, hey John, sorry to be bothering you. Got a question. Bro, you ain't bothering me at all. That is what this live stream is for, man. But he says, got a question. What do you think about the new 4Runner with the new engine setup versus the Highlander engine? I know it's different categories, but still the same base. So it's still the same kind of base 2, still kind of like the same base 2.4, but in the truck application, like the Tacoma and the 4Runner and Land Cruiser, only I believe like 54-ish% of that engine is like the same 2.4 that the Highlander has. So I mean, it's good. Like in the Highlander, I felt like it was okay, kind of a little bit underpowered, but like it still got the car up and going. I don't feel the same in my Tacoma, and I have the same 2.4 in that will be like in the 4Runner. It has power, and the way that the 8-speed transmission is geared, the way that the turbo comes on at a very low 1700 RPM, which is completely different than the Highlander because it's a completely different turbocharger. The Tacoma and 4Runner, they scoot, man. And then we got one more donation up in here from Chris. I got to meet Chris, guys, out in Utah from Arizona. Bro, you could have saved this money for the repair of your 4Runner. It was great hanging out with you again. Keep up the awesome work. We got to do Moab again. I feel so bad that we weren't able to wheel together, but I will be at Westcott Designs Thursday or Friday. The topper from GFC should be getting delivered there. And for those of you guys that watch the live stream, you guys always get to hear stuff a little bit early than what actual other YouTube subscribers do, because you guys are taking time out of your night, and I freaking appreciate it. So I am swapping off the bed rack and the GFC rooftop tent. That was never mine. Like, that is Westcott Designs. And we were putting on a topper for the truck. Not like a crazy super expensive topper like TFL did, but I'm trying to keep the truck as lightweight, as quality as possible and everything, to hopefully get still pretty good gas mileage out of the truck. So that is the next step, and the next plan for my Tacoma TRD off-road is a nice little just topper, just a little simple topper setup. I'm gonna see how I like bed camping over rooftop tent camping. But Chris, bro, I appreciate it, man. Again, I hope that it was an elk, right? I hope that elk didn't really ruin your 4Runner too much, man. So Chris, guys, He has a nice 4Runner. Westcott did it all up, dude. Rooftop or roof rack, sliders. I believe they did everything, like the front bumper and everything. Baja lights, Morimoto lights as well. It's an underground color, and he did a matte wrap on it. Truck looks dope. 4Runner looks dope. And a dang animal thought that his lights looked really awesome. And I feel so bad, dude. I feel so bad. But whatever, man. It's material. It'll get fixed, and it'll be all good. Mike says, how do I remove this? How do you justify spending $70,000 on a mid-sized truck, MSRP plus delivery and taxes? Truck is cool, but all I would prefer buying is a bare bones off-road and build it up. And bro, you totally can build a bare bones off-road for 40 grand. Like if you don't want all those features. So that's the thing, is if you want all the features, then it's justified, right? Because you get all those features. But that is Toyota forcing you to have all those features by only having the TRD Pro as the TRD Pro with every single option. That's why they don't make all the other options. Those of you that want that, you could still pick up the TRD off-road. Starts at 41 or 42, which yes, it is expensive, but you know, you can't buy a Tacoma for 15 grand anymore like you could in the 90s, right? But you can if you just want a normal truck and build it up to be even crazier. I mean, dude, if you bought a TRD off-road for 40 grand and you put like 20K worth of suspension, the tires, the wheels, making everything good, maybe like a little tune once those come out in the future, fiberglass and stuff, right? You could be under 20 grand and have a way better build than a TRD Pro. It just all depends on the options you want for the truck, what you want out of the truck, and everything. So Jake says, new sub. Thanks, Jake, for subbing and coming to a live stream. I appreciate that so freaking much. Optimist says, does the bed still rattle? My bed has never rattled. The only thing that is rattling in my truck is the sun visor now, but I think that is because I need to move a crossbar from my roof rack. But also I have the rooftop tent there, so I'm not sure if it's creating some turbulence right back up behind there. And also my door. So my door has like a little clicking sound on my Tacoma. I'm not going to be able to get any of that fixed during the 5K service that I do tomorrow at the Toyota dealership. Like the automatic tailgate. My automatic tailgate, I don't recall me saying it ever really rattled. The Tundra one does, but that's not an automatic. So I'll at least document that stuff with them. If they have a quick, simple fix, cool. But I don't plan on leaving my truck with this dealership for a long time tomorrow. I'm basically just having them check all the fluids, making sure that the truck is braking in the way that it should for 5,000 miles. That's literally it, because I don't want to drive the truck all the way back to Florida and then be like, where the heck were you? Your truck's at 10,000 miles. I'm like, sorry. Eric says that the TRD Pro builder is not up for him. Any suggestions? Try changing your zip code. Sometimes, like if you're on the East Coast, like Southeast Toyota region, sometimes the zip codes don't work the best, dude. Sometimes I have to use like a West Coast zip code or like Texas zip code. Just type in like San Diego zip code and then just try it for there. And see if the configurator comes up. Jay Sand says, I need some rock sliders for my 24 Tacoma off-road 6-foot bed. Any recommendations? So I do know that Westcott Designs is developing a 6-foot bed double cab configuration right now. They have a white truck in their shop right now that they're doing R&D on for that, for you individuals that have a longer truck. So they're going to have that ready soon. And I think they may have it live, because I thought that they already had a 6-foot bed truck in their possession before. So I'm not 100% sure if they have it. I know CBI is doing stuff too. There's going to be a ton of stuff, guys, in the next 6 months from a lot of companies that have their hands on these trucks, and hopefully that they will start being able to produce stuff soon. I don't know what Westcott's lead time is at all on these Tacomas for like sliders. I know for their lift kit, it's about 4 to 6 weeks right now. So I'm not sure what rock sliders are, but the truck is just so new. Companies have done their R&D with the trucks that they've been able to, get a hold of, and they're starting to ramp up production. Even Cali Rays, I don't know if they've ever gotten their hands yet on a longer 6-foot bed truck. So just give it some time, and hopefully soon there will be a lot of aftermarket support out there. And if the world stays the amazing world that we want it to be and get a little bit better, then hopefully there will be no more like supply shortages or anything like that. Sammy also goes on to say, I thought that the TRD Sport with the iForce Max at 46K sounded almost reasonable, but after you add a package to get the panoramic view monitor, you're at like 56K. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. That's my one gripe with the packaging with the Tacoma. I wish that you could just get a 360 camera view without having to upgrade to like the 14-inch screen and like all of that stuff. So maybe that's some stuff for the future that can go on and whatnot, but we'll see. We shall see. Catching up with a couple last minute comments. We've been on for a little bit over an hour, and I have not eaten some dinner yet. So if you guys have any last minute questions, go ahead and throw them in because we are pretty much caught up. Bo says, hey John, what do you think of the price of the TRD Pro and Trail Hunter? Overpriced? Are you planning on buying one? So they are expensive for sure. They're a lot more than the competition, and it sucks that it's standard for a lot of the like equipment that those trucks have. So yeah, they're expensive. Not like defending that in any way at all. They are not cheap. I mean, 65 grand for a Tacoma is not cheap. But again, you know, if you look at a Tacoma from, dude, even 2018, you know, compared to, let's say, even the same third generation of 2023, like it went up significantly in price. Even a 22 Tundra, brand new Tundra, right, which was a big jump from the 2.5 gen Tundra. So let's just say a 2022 Tundra compared to a 2024 Tundra is expensive as well. So, I mean, it sucks. And like, I don't like to be that guy that just says it is what it is, because like we can change this, right? Like in the future and stuff. But it is very, very expensive. All I can say is just, if you want something, bro, like work hard for it, you know? So like, I do want a TRD Pro. Is it going to suck paying 65 grand for a TRD Pro Tacoma? Yeah, that's a lot of money, dude. But like at the same time, like if I really want it, I'm going to work hard for it, and I'm going to enjoy the absolute crap out of it, just like I'm enjoying the crap out of this Tacoma that's just right outside right now. So it's expensive for sure. I will not be buying a Tacoma Trail Hunter. I don't think that the Trail Hunter is honestly worth it. I'd rather just build up a TRD off-road. But a TRD Pro, I think it's pretty dope. I think the TRD Pro is honestly pretty dope for what you get. Again, it is expensive, but yeah. The Limited sounds like the best bet because no other trim offers the power running board standard and adaptive suspension. And again, the Limited for the Tacoma literally has everything. All the options are on the Tacoma. You even have a HUD too with the Tacoma. Pretty rad. AR says, late to the party, but you're doing a great job on the videos. Your turbo snorkel video is going crazy viral. Dude, I'm not sure which social media thing that it is going viral on. I think on Instagram it was starting to get up there. Oh shoot, yeah. We're at 85,000 views on Instagram with it. And then YouTube, probably not too crazy because for some reason, yeah, 3,000 views on YouTube, which I'm still thankful for, guys. But YouTube with shorts, it's just, sometimes they stick. Like you have to really, really be consistent with YouTube for that kind of stuff. And then on TikTok, it's at 92,000 views. That's wild. So yeah, so definitely going viral on the best short form platforms of Instagram and TikTok for that. That's pretty cool to see. Hilux Runner says, how often are you going to be doing oil changes on your Tacoma? So I may do one tomorrow, depending on what they say, like if the oil doesn't look the best, because for the first 5,000 miles of that truck, they've actually been pretty hard. Driving it from Florida all the way to California, 80, 85 miles an hour the whole way. Racing it, literally just flooring the absolute piss out of that truck in Johnson Valley, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on that dry lake bed. And then driving up to Utah with it, mountain passes, some weight on the truck. So if they suggest an oil change tomorrow, I'm going to do it. But if they don't, 10,000 miles. A lot of people are against that and stuff. And hey, by all means, I get that. But the truck is under warranty. And before I see comments saying, oh, you don't keep your trucks long enough to care, what about the next person? There's warranty for them as well. They get the same warranty that I get for it being a brand new truck. And if they want to buy an extended warranty, they totally can. And if the truck just completely fails on me because of an oil change prior to 10,000 miles and I serviced it at Toyota, then that's a video for you guys, and maybe it's something for Toyota to readdress their scheduling for oil. So I do everything by the book from Toyota, because if it fails, all the wear and tear that I show is documented on YouTube. I took it to a dealership to inspect it, and I am going off of their recommendations. So it just makes Toyota better as a company. Like if they need to address stuff, have dealerships look at their stuff a little bit more. That's just what I do. Could I change the oil myself? Yes, I totally can. I am not against that, but one, it's free, and two, it allows them to like work on a new truck and get stuff dialed as a dealership. Mauricio, dude, thank you so much with one of the last donations, because we are wrapping up, but I appreciate it as always. Says, hey John, thanks so much for always replying to my DMs on Instagram. You're the real one. LOL. But after seeing the prices on the new Taco, I can't even imagine the 4Runner. I know. It hurts. When we were going over the Tacoma pricing, and if you're on Instagram, obviously you're on Instagram because we talk, you saw my story linking over to 4Runner 6G, where we have our estimated pricing of the 4Runner. And that killed me and Brennan today to put a 7 right there in front of a 4Runner, which is just crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But like, what's also crazy is a vehicle with a powertrain that's been around since 2003 or 4 that Toyota was also asking $56,000 for a TRD Pro. That is also crazy. It's just how you like your crazy, I guess. But dude, thank you so much for the donation. Guys, I try so hard to reply back to everyone, but since I started to get like a TikTok and YouTube has gotten bigger, which I just am so thankful for, it's really hard to just like keep track of every single comment and stuff. And like for the longest time, I was like so insanely good about replying back to everyone, but sometimes like when videos pop off and comments pop off, it's so hard to get to. It really is hard to get to. But yep, about 68K to 7, man, for the 4Runner. I really hope that it's not, though. I really hope that it's not. In the future, that stuff will be standard. Right now, yep, that is very true as well. Just like the 3rd gen, some stuff was standard towards the tail end. Just buy an off-road and put 15 to 20K into it, and it could be better than a TRD Pro. 100%. It could, especially if you just get a base model right and you only care about the driving characteristics. 100% agree with that. Michael says, is there going to be an option for red seats with the new 4Runner TRD Pro? I would assume so. Cockpit red has been a thing that is interesting. Well, okay, in all fairness, they showed us a special color mud bath, which they have not ever done the special color with the red interior. Mud bath definitely would have been one to pull that trigger on for that. But I would assume that the cockpit red interior will be there for the 4Runner. It's a loaded question because, dealers are charging 20K markups. Super late to the live stream. All good, Andrew. But do we know if there's a difference in rear diffs between the Pro/Trail Hunter and non-hybrids? There is. So non-hybrid models have a smaller, I believe, I wanted to say an 8-inch or an 8.5-inch rear. And these hybrids have a 9.5-inch rear end. Very big. So I believe that the non-hybrids are an 8-inch rear, and these hybrids, if I am remembering correctly, I am like if I was being tested at school right now, this would be my answer with my confidence that the hybrids are a 9.5-inch rear. And also with that, 18-inch wheels on like the, I believe all models have 18-inch wheels, and the TRD Off-Road, Trail Hunter, and Pro have 33-inch tires. Sammy, adios, man. I got to eat as well. And I appreciate all the donations tonight, guys. You guys were really good. So if you guys can just pause on sending questions in. I see City as the last person. Andrew saying thanks, though. Everyone saying thanks. Thank you so much. So these are the last bit of questions that I want to get to tonight. Again, if I missed your question, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. But we had a lot in here tonight, guys. Over 200 people at one point. Oh, Sammy says, John, go eat. I thought you said you were going to go eat, bro. I will go eat. I will go eat. So everyone, I will go eat after these last 5 or 6. When are they going to start production on these Tacoma Pros? I believe they have already started production. Allocation should be there for dealerships. Mike says, what do you think What do you think? I know you own the iForce. My question is, would you do a switch for an iForce Max? Is it worth it, or are you going to stick with the one you got? To be honest, my plan in my head was to have this Tacoma in December, which it never happened, and I got it towards like freaking March. But my plan was, in a perfect world, to get that Tacoma in December and get a TRD Pro about 6 months later in June. But now I don't think that's the case. I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait. I really, really enjoy this truck for what it is right now. And I think maybe a little bit later down the road, we will get a hybrid. Like for the Tundra, my thought process was the current Tundra that I have right now was to keep it until the refresh of the Toyota Tundra, which and then get a hybrid for the refresh. So the plan was to keep this Tundra until that refresh, but now with all these new Toyotas coming out, like the Land Cruiser, the 4Runner, all that, not that the Tundra is dead, like there's still a good audience for the Tundra whenever stuff happens, but it's definitely not as popular, I guess, anymore on the channel. But if, you know, I may just keep it in the background for some things, like if I need it and stuff for certain things. But like if a vehicle was to go on the channel like anytime soon, just because if we have to move some stuff around, but the channel's been doing really good and I'm super appreciative of it, it would be the Tundra, just because there's no point in having a $700 car payment if I'm not going to use the truck anymore, right? Which is crazy. The Tacoma is, I believe, more than the Tundra for the payment of the truck, and that's just because of APRs and stuff like that. I did put a good amount of money down on the Tundra, though, so I pretty much financed close to the same for both of them because of the equity that I had in a couple other vehicles. But anyways, that is regardless. What are your thoughts of the... So for those of you joining in towards the tail end, the hybrid is good. It's not like day-to-day driving, you're not going to see like a whole crazy lot of difference, but on road trips, the highway, if you load the truck down with stuff, that is really where the hybrid powertrain is going to shine. Or if you're just absolutely just flooring it, very quick acceleration stuff, that is where the hybrid powertrain shines. But just normal day-to-day, I did not notice a crazy big difference, but I did only drive it for 2 hours. So I am excited to have the Tacoma as a press vehicle for like a week in the future. AR says, do you know what location trail in San Diego you guys did? So it was at Vought Ranch, VOGT, and they have a bunch of motocross tracks out there. And actually what they did is they blazed the trail of their motocross tracks. The owner of the ranch has like a bulldozer and stuff, and he self-made us a course, well, Toyota the course for these trucks. So I'm not sure if he's open to the public or anything like that. Definitely do not go to his property. I have no idea what's going on. It was a private event that we went to, but it was down near the border of Mexico. From Coronado, it was like an hour south, even more for that. But it was a very cool time. I'm not sure if he has open to the public days, but it was Vought Ranch was where we were. $65,000, I'll go with the Sequoia. Not a TRD Pro or a Tundra. Been eyeballing the new Toyota stuff, waiting to see all these prices. Love the first gen Sequoia. First gen Sequoia was dope. Second gen, kind of weird, but the 5.7 in it was nice. And I did like the third gen Sequoia. I just really don't like the rear seats in the back. They're just so weird to me, like how that worked back there. Also, do you know if I could get a 6-foot bed with iForce Max? This is a very good question. I failed to mention it in my video early this morning. The only 6-foot bed, at least per Toyota's site, pricing sheet that they gave us, maybe the build configurator, since it is live now, will show something different, but you can only get a 6-foot bed in the Trail Hunter. Price tag on iForce Max doesn't end there. It doesn't include maintenance on the batteries. There's a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the batteries. By that time, hopefully your truck is paid off if you really want to keep it that long, but they are nickel metal hydride batteries. So not saying you don't know what you're talking about, Rogue, but they are not lithium batteries. They are nickel metal hydride, which are significantly cheaper than lithium batteries. So just keep that in mind. Turbo motor, yep, we get it. Stuff does fail, but there are also Toyota vehicles from the 80s still rocking turb skis. So just 100,000-mile warranty or 10 years, whichever one comes first. So Toyota's warranting these batteries and all hybrid components. Actually, that is what that's for, not just the batteries, for a long time. 10 years, 100,000 miles, I'm like 98% sure that that is that warranty for that. Big ups for John for the live stream. Appreciate it, guys, so much. So AR, thank you, Edward. Guys, I'm going to start wrapping up. What do you think about think of the height? Do you think that we'll need steps? Yeah, the Tacoma is up there a little bit high for sure. Andrew says thanks, and then Rogue, I already answered that question. So you were talking about the upkeep and stuff. Very big warranty on these trucks, no problem. And then Fonz with the last question says, hey John, how much do you think that the new 4Runner and stuff will cost? I'm gonna go with about $4,000 more than the Tacoma live stream. Jesus. And then the Tacoma in all models. We'll just go with that. I feel like the 4Runner will be about $4,000 to $5,000 more. But everyone, I appreciate the crap out of you guys watching. Everyone that freaking donated, you guys are insane MVPs. Thank you so much. You guys don't have to do that, but like it helps me make content more for you guys, and like really drives me to just do so much more. It is so incredible. All I see is myself on a screen and your guys' little profile picture and the awesome comments for the most part for people, the awesome comments that people talk about, but that's my only interaction with you guys. And when you do stuff above and beyond, it makes me want to give more and do more stuff above and beyond as well. But guys, I appreciate so much of you watching. We will have more Tacoma content, Land Cruiser content, tons of stuff coming in the future. And I'm also going to Toyota Jamboree. So if you guys are going to Toyota Jamboree in Gilmore, Texas, Toyota will have some vehicles there. I will be there. It's a crazy fun off-road event and stuff. People get, it's Texas. There's obstacle courses. There's alcohol involved for some people. So it's a fun time. It's kind of rowdy. Tacoma Beast is not narrating, hosting the rock garden and everything. Last year there was this Tundra Platinum that just bonsai'd over the crap of everything, and he didn't even care about his vehicle. Blindfolded obstacle course. A lot of cool stuff out there. I will be out there next week. That's the Toyota Jamboree in Gilmer, Texas. And then I also hope to be at the Overland Expo in Flagstaff, Arizona also next month. But got to get my truck back to Florida first. So guys, I appreciate you all watching, and I'll catch you in the next live stream and also the next video. Everyone have an incredible night. Thank you.